All right, true to form, we did a take two midlife whoopsie daisy, and I'm on a different computer today, so hopefully this is the last time this happens. Anyway, welcome to the live stream. We're back. The first live stream of 2026. Let me know if you can hear me all right. If I'm blowing out the mic, let me know. This is a safe space to talk about all things running, everything, treadmill miles, incline, saw cut laces, insoles, outsoles, easy miles, workouts, any sorts of tendinopathy. I'm not a PT, but I play one on the internet. Carbs, lettuce, you name it. If it involves running, then we definitely talk about it. So today we have some non sponsors. These are people, organizations, companies that do not sponsor this live stream. This live stream is completely not sponsored. The first non-sponsor is Floris Gierman, who just released a new book that I highly, highly recommend. It's called Running Breakthroughs. Don't be stuck in the suck. Read this book. Your breakthrough awaits. Go on, Floor. It hurts my soul to say those things. Okay, this podcast or live stream is also not brought to you by Precision Fuel and Hydration. We got here a Precision Fuel, 30-gram carb, 100 grams of milligrams, 100 milligrams of caffeine, 30-gram carb chew. Precision Fuel and Hydration. Yeah, when you're out there on the roads, you don't want to eat shit. You want to taste victory. And that is precisely why you need Precision Fuel and Hydration. You know what PF stands for? Plantar fasciitis. And that sucks. You don't want PF. You know what PFH stands for? Precision Fuel and Hydration. PFH is awesome. You definitely want that. Okay. Okay, we could do one more because I wrote it down. So I would say before I lose everyone, but no one's here because I just botched the the take one. So as usual, I usually wait to halfway to botch it, but we did it at the beginning. So we're gonna go one more. Let's do it. Let's see what I wrote down here. This live stream is not brought to you by Discover. Yeah, the credit card company. With Discover, they give you back some of the money that they already took from you in the first place. And that's pretty neat. You can take those savings and go buy a hot and ready from Little Caesars. Discover the benefits of insurmountable debt. Discover. Feel less poor. How'd that one go? That one, I don't know if Discover, I don't know why I can't get any brand deals. I don't know what it is. I just don't know what it is, but maybe it's because I'm not an elite runner. I should probably skip the last part on that Discover thing. I don't think that's really paints them in a good light. Maybe we'll skip that part. Oh man, I'm getting notified. This is my wife's computer. I'm getting notifications. I'm at home with the little guy. Little guy's 6, so we may have a guest appearance. As you could see, there's some shoes back there. We'll talk about those later. Also, we'll talk about the speed block. For everyone who's just joining now, Colin R. Brown's in here. He says, howdy. What's up, Colin? Let me know what you ran today. Let me know. It's safe space. We talk about running, incline, treadmill. I know that's happening a lot up north. But if you missed the beginning about all of the fake sponsors, go back and support those. All right. Java checker. Okay, we're good. Matt Byer is in here. He said, "God, looks like I missed part 1." Yeah, part 1 was like 3 seconds, and then it was me realizing that I'm not seeing the little green dots from the audio from this Yeti mic because I just plugged it in, but I have to plug it in, then I have to restart the computer, then the computer recognizes that, and then so that was my bad. And then this is my wife's computer though, so now I'm looking a little bit more crisp, a little crispy, because the camera on this is better. And I was hoping that we didn't get any issues, which I don't think we will. If you missed the first few minutes of this live stream, go back and listen later, just the first few minutes for our unofficial sponsors or unofficial non-sponsors. That's really what it is. So Kevin M. Katir 7281 says, just back from a 10-mile run in the Neo Zen 2. Love it. And I got that one. I thought it came out February 1st, but everyone's been telling me they're running in it. So here we go. I put another video out, my 50-mile take on it. No one watched it. This is Mizuno. I mean, people watch other brands less, I guess. Shout out to Joanna. He reviewed the Norda 005, 005 trail shoe. That's YouTuber suicide there. You're gonna get like 3 views. Like who's out there watching trail reviews? I guess maybe people in Colorado. Maybe Eric Paramount will watch that. Stevie76 says, my wife. Yeah, my wife. So funny. I did the review of the Houston Marathon, and then there was like my take on it. And then one of like my 5 or 7 learnings from it, my 5th learning was that I need strength training and core. And I said, I want to be one of those guys that hangs from the bar and they're just doing all these like movements and to make the girls wet. And then I was like, well, what I mean is like, I really just want to make my wife wet. Go to the next one. She called me because she was in the middle of listening to it. She didn't even hear the second half of the joke. And she called me and she's like, what? I was like, incredible. I was like, did you even finish the sentence? There's a joke in there. But sometimes I give her the secondhand cringe. Matt Byer says, still no running for a couple weeks for my ankle fracture, but working on resistance band strength training. This is it, man. Me and you, we're going to be doing Pilates. Just you wait. That's in the future. We're going to talk about the speed block coming up. I'll run through my current running shoe rotation in 2026 because we haven't done a whole lot of live streams in a while. I'm going to be trying to post daily. Not sure I'll do it. Usually when I post a live stream, it steps on the previous postings. But if I post every day, then it really doesn't matter. Like the Neo Zen 50-mile review came out, like 9 people watched it. So like this stepping on that doesn't really matter. So I can do it. It's for the views. Jen Piazza 791's in here and says 8+ miles in 15 degrees, dodging giant mountains of snow/slush, going to and from the park. I was supposed to do hill sprints, but I didn't have it in me mentally in this weather. Yeah. I really, most of the runners that I coach are in the Midwest or up north. There's only maybe a handful of guys locally here, and just seeing all of the conditions that they have to tolerate that you guys put up with, it's pretty eye-opening because when it's really hot, it's like, this is the weather I want. But of course, the weather down here is much more mild. It's only 20 degrees. And I'm like, yes, feels like 14. This is what I've been waiting for all year. Colin or Brown or Brown says Treddy 14 miles with 12 by 4 minutes at 6:44 with 130 floats. I love the details. More details, the better. If you got average ground contact time, here for it, left right balance. So stride length, it's safe. It's a safe space for all of that. So I did 8 miles. We did 4 in the Neo Vista V2 and 4 in the Vomero Premium. Getting a message here. Okay. It was from my wife. And I know I retired. I made a whole video being like, okay, bye to the Neo Vista V2. And then I still ran in it, but I wanted to compare because I'm getting my recovery shoe dialed in. And it's like, these were the 2 best recovery shoes last year. So I got to find out which one's better when I make my 2025 list deep into 2026 when no one cares about 2025 shoes anymore because we only want the newest and latest thing. Matt was one of the 7 or 9 that watched the, Zen 2 update. Yeah. So people believe in the run, Thomas likes it. SA 1629 says, "Sup, coach, auto PR for the half." Man, I'm not prepared. I don't have a bell. I need my bell. We're ringing one for you. Auto PR. All right. Look at this. You know where I got this. I got this one on the Supple app. You know it. So massive 55 millimeters of stack. It's like the Vomero Plus on steroids for sure. 45 in the 4 foot, 10 millimeter drop. Got all the Vomero, the usual Vomero cush, padded heel collar, puffy tongue. Out of control. The bounce on that shoe just makes it almost not a recovery shoe. Be because even when you land in the heel, it, like, rolls you through and just kinda launches you, but it's heavy. I think that's the saving grace of it. It's nice and heavy, so it slows me down anyway. So I think my verdict was the Neo Vista V2 is softer and probably more preferable for, like, a true recovery if I was just gonna get out there for 45 minutes or an hour. But then if I wanted to do, like, a longer run, the Vomero Premium, like, it's more supportive and feels really great. Arf World says, "Hello." Well, hello, Arf World. How you doing, man? Oh, no. Parker Willett says 2238 says 0 miles today. The flu sucks. Yeah, I don't know if, the I got to HEB too late yesterday. I was gonna grab a flu COVID test from my little guy. He was coughing. He's feeling a little better today. It's like we're on day 2.5. I think he might be good to return to school tomorrow. So he's watching Sonic. He's keeping me up to date on who the fastest is in this video. They have all the MPH miles per hour. Okay, everyday shoes. We'll talk about the everyday trainers. All right, this would be like the max cushion daily trainer would be the Brooks Glycerin Max 2 right now, but it is a very niche shoe. Like, it's so niche that the majority of everybody is not going to really like this shoe, I think, because it's firmer than the first one, and it's such a midfoot rocker, like Evo SL kind of shoe, but it's also super blasty too, and that, like, those are, like, 2 of the most polarizing shoes in the last few years was the Super Blast 2 and the Evo SL. Um, so it's only like a very particular type of run when I'm gonna wanna run in it. My usual daily trainer will be one of these 3 shoes, and these 3 shoes are all very similar. Mm, I think I whipped. I think I grabbed 2 of the Glide Ride Max 2, but I have the Glide Ride Max 1, which I got for $45 on the Supple app with the Glide Ride Max 2. Asics doesn't send me shoes, so I also purchased this on the Supple app, and then the 361 Elios 2. So they're essentially the same shoe. They're very subtle differences. So the Glide Ride Max 1 has the most sink-in feel with the top layer of the FF Blast Max, which this also has, but the bottom layer in the Glide Ride Max 2 is FF Blast Plus. And my wife doesn't run in shoes, but collectively, if she did, there is the Royal We. We feel certain ways about lots of things. We love Paul Giamatti, right? Like, we love Olive Garden. Olive Garden's approved. There are things that we like, there's things that we don't like. We don't like She doesn't run, but we don't like FF Blast Plus, we've determined. I think that's the bottom layer of Magic Speed 5, maybe, also, but we do love the Blast Max, and that's why I like the Nova Blast 5, which is, like, 4 miles away from a 100-mile review, so I probably have to run in that just to hit the arbitrary number of 100 miles, be like, "Yeah, now I can do a full review." But the Glide Ride Max 1 had the Eco Foam underneath it, and for whatever reason, it just is less dense. I don't know. It's that slappy number that was in the Nova Blast 4 and the Super Blast 2, but I really liked it. Um, I mildly liked it, but I really liked it in combination with the Blast Max. The Helios 2 it's the sweet spot. It's like right in between those two shoes as far as the bounce and the energy return. So it's a little more dense than the V1 and a little bit more, or it's more soft than the V2. Because the V2 is like I could run in this thing like a long run shoe where I just have to run 15 miles and I'm just going time on beat, running it forever. And that's good. It's not because the Glide Ride Max 1 feels greater like in store. If you put it on in store, you'd feel that cushion. Hear my son in there doing a battle. Oh, to be six again. Anyway, if I had to pick one of the shoes, it'd be the Elias 2. I think it'll be up to 40 miles this week. I'll eventually do a 50-mile review of that. And the Glide Ride Max is just going to eat up a lot of daily miles. I'll make videos on it. No one will watch it because it's the Glide Ride. No one gives a shit about the Glide Ride. All right, what's the next shoe? We'll check in with you guys. Doppler JD is in here. And he says, oh, it was a Teams message, but that's not for me. It's for the wife. What's up, everyone? Oh, man, this Teams is going to pop off. Hey, buddy, you want to say hi? No, I'm on. You remember? Yeah, Chuck E. Cheese. Yeah. Stevie 76. You want to say hi, Stevie 76?
Hi, Stevie 76.
Yeah, there we go. Get it? 7, 6.
Okay, that's that backwards.
Oh, it's backwards. Oh, 6, 7. Stevie 67. That's his new name. We could call him that.
Well, it has two things. First, if you flip it over to 67. Second, if you delete the double E or magic key, whatever.
Yeah, delete the double E for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it would just be like Steve.
Steve, yeah, we just call him Steve 67. he says, "What's up, buddy?"
Steve from Minecraft.
Yeah, he could be Steve from Minecraft. All right.
Wait. Why haven't we got his money yet? Though?
Oh,
it's been there for like the whole year.
Steve, we gotta pay. We gotta pay.
It's been there for a whole year.
Yeah, it's time.
2 years by now.
Yep. Doppler JD says, "I wish my feet were smaller. LOL. The women's colors have been fired." Well, no one's here. Let me see. Will you hand me the pink shoe? All right.
I like the green one as well.
Yeah, the green one's really bright and nice. Yeah, so this I didn't know. I got this from a guy, but I think this was his wife's shoe. And then because he wears a slightly bigger shoe, so I don't think anyone's gonna miss me in this shoe. Like they will see me coming a mile away. I'm put people on notice when I pass them up. So yeah, but it said width B, so I guess it's the B width. So I don't know if that's the difference between men's and women's shoes, is they make the fit a little tighter. So Wojciech's in here. GoWare is shutting down. Everything is on clearance. BITR 15 for an extra 15% off. That's awesome. Yeah, take my money. I'm on a no buy. We're back on the no buy for February. So Tim Trenholm 3698 says Novoblast 5 foam dies too fast. It's great up until 250 kilometers and then dies a slow, mushy death. Yeah, that's what I've heard. And that was something that I was really actually kind of interested in for the Glide Ride Max version 2 on this one. Because if the Blast Max dies out on this foam, I think it'll like hit that sweet spot. So I guess I'm looking at 250 kilometers before that one, I run into that. So yes. Okay, I'll let you know, buddy. Okay. Drummer Mike 2708 says, "Good afternoon. I've been training for the Austin Marathon. Oh man. I've been running my long runs with hills where I can find them here in Houston. I'm going for step 4. Oh, where can I find them in Houston? You're out of luck in Houston. That's a Stevie 76 question. Let's see. When I ran the Houston Marathon, there were some overpasses towards the end, but yeah, no, there's 67? Yeah, Steve 67. Yeah. There's an I don't know where that overpass is by mile 13. That's your best chance. I don't know if there'll be cars on it, but that's the hill you want. Best of luck on the sub 4. Austin's a lot. I've only run the Austin half. I've run both Austin halves, but the one that you're running in February is very hilly. So at least when I was first getting into running. Okay. Okay, that's good. Yeah. All right. Zone 3 banger. You want to hand me the yellow shoe? Okay. All right. Zone 3 banger. We're going Rad UFO. I'm going to take this one for 15 miles this weekend. Then we'll get over 100 miles. We'll have 101. And I will make a review 101 miles. So bouncy. I've made reviews on it. You probably already know about it. So we're going to throw that one aside. Threshold.
Joel, give it to me.
Okay, I'll give it to you. That one's good. Will you hand me that one right there? Okay. And will you hand me those two back there? Thank you. You do a good job, buddy. All right. I made a review on the Endorphin Elite version 2. And I said, bro said it had 28 miles. And I got sent this shoe, which, sus, as the kids say, for sure. Right. 28 miles. Got a brand new shoe. Because I got, and this was a size 9. And it's a little snug. Then I saw brand new. I made a trade for it, 9.5 on the Supple app. I traded for it, threw in some cash. This is what I've been waiting for on the Supple app all year, is to see this in a 9.5 in my size on sale. And it finally came in. And I was like, okay, I'm going to see the difference between the shoe. I'm going to use it for training. I used it for a threshold run, but I also am going to use the Topo Cyclone. I've only taken a few miles, taken it out for a few miles. I don't have any threshold running in the speed block yet on the slate. So we got the classic P-backs, P-butt plateless. Supposed to be a great time. I'm looking forward to running in Topo this year, even though everyone will unsubscribe when I post it. No one likes Topo, apparently, but looking forward to that. I also have the Hyperion Elite 5. I'm going to test that out, but it's a race day shoe, so we'll see. But it's not getting the high marks as a race day shoe and more of a trainer, so we'll see. And then, you want to hand me that one? Okay. All right. And then for speed work, I've got the Muro from 361, the Streak Fly, the Pure, but I'm saving the Pure for the races. I'm signed up for a 5K mile race. I've never run one of those, so automatic PR. All right. Okay, here. You hand me those two in the black one? Yeah, awesome. Thanks, dude. All right, for hills, I know I'm a shoe sicko and I have a shoe problem because I'm talking about hills, but why would I take a shoe out just for hills? It's because I have too many shoes. This is the Flex. I know Kafuzi just came out with a video today comparing it to the Glycerin, the regular Glycerin 22. I've never run in the Glycerin I've run in the Glycerin Max and other shoes. So I compared this more to the Nike Free Run 5.0, and I made videos on that. Came out the other day. I'm not sure if anyone watched it. And then the shoe that I'm going to run in next is the Topo. Okay, thanks. The Topo Flylight 6. So this is a shoe that Andrea from Doctors of Running highly recommended. And it is more of a minimal daily trainer, kind of like the Nike Rival Fly 4 kind of thing. So I'm here for it. I like the Super Max Vomero Premiums. I like ground contact as well. The Flex kind of hits right in the middle. I just was guessing 37 millimeters underfoot. Apparently it's 36 to 30. I think that's what Kafuzi said. So I was close. I was in the ballpark, but it's heavy. He said 8.8 ounces. Mine came in at 9.3. Oh, you got a book? That's scary. That's a scary book. I think that's mom does the reading here mostly. So I am literate, but there's that. So anyway, that's the running shoe rotation. Let me know what you guys are running in currently. Burning through those. And I think that's it. I don't think I have anything super top secret or juicy. Let's see. Matt Byer says the only use I have moving forward for the Nova Blast 5 is to offset my walking boot. Only at 120 miles on the shoes and can't take them out for runs anymore. Too mushy. Oh, that's pretty wild. I heard that after 100 miles it transforms. Mine are still pretty bouncy so far. I mean, I'm only at 96, so I guess I've only got to we got to start the hospice process for that one to come down. So Frank says, do different gender fits actually make any sense? I'm not sure. I don't think so. I really don't think so. I mean, if anything else, the Vomero Premium like fits really good. Like, should I always get a women 10.5 instead of my men's 9? I think maybe I found my calling. Question: with my first gym workout, ended up with severe lactic acid pain and stiffness in the calves. To what degree do you modify your training since it's not really an injury? FYI, runs feel pretty good. So with that, I'm kind of in the middle of that with the strength. So a lot of the speed work historically has been like, oh, let me do a 5K block, 8 weeks, VO2, work on my speed. All right, thank you, buddy. Love you. And now it's working on my max velocity, which is a little bit different, or it's a lot different because it's not about struggling to breathe so much as it is power output and leg turnover, CNS, BUZZ acronym, right? Central nervous system training, tendon stiffness. So there's different ways to work on that outside of the classic strength training, which I'm still going to do. So I look at like the regular strength training, deadlifts, squats, lunges, whatever it is, but the compound lifts certainly as raising the ceiling of what I potentially could put down in power, like how strong I am. And it's really important for like middle schoolers, high schoolers, growing kids to really bring up their strength. Right. And I come from a gym bro background. So I think eventually I got to squatting over double my weight, and I think I deadlifted up to it doesn't matter what I used to do because obviously I'm not there now. But my point is there comes a point where all of the strength that you build up no longer serves you. It actually kind of slows you down. Where else power lifters would be like the fastest guys in the world. Similarly to it's like the VO2 max, right? Like the bigger you are, the bigger VO2 you have, but the more mass also that you have to move across space time. So it's really about finding the right amount of power for you and where you're at. But by doing these plyos, like working in more plyometrics, also doing more Pilates style work for core as I try to work on my running form. So James Dunn actually, we went over my running form, and I'll make a video on it and like kind of the bulletproof exercises that I'm doing from his bulletproof program. But I'm also ending up pretty sore. If I'm sore to the point where I cannot hit paces on a workout, then I don't worry about it. Like that, I just push it to another day. If I don't have that pop because my calves are sore, my whatever, just below the knee, I'm fatigued. Right? I know it's like because usually you don't want to do those things back to back. The principle is still going to apply, right? Because like doing plyos or doing a lot of strength that takes you out or that your body needs to recover from is almost like a workout day. So then you would need a couple of days, 48 hours to go. And the central nervous system can take up to 72 hours really to reset. So easy runs, absolutely on the table. Nice recovery day. That's good. That's what I did today. So yesterday I did 10 times 45 hill sprints. I also did some plyos before to sort of like prime the body and get it ready. Today, my legs are fatigued. I did some of those bulletproof Pilates type work where you're just 10-second holds. It's painful. What I mean by the Pilates thing is this like isometric holds where, like, I don't know about you. I'm a know-it-all. So when I see a video that's like, these are the 3 exercises you need to do it, I'm like, okay, cool. Let me find out what is it. Okay, okay, glute bridge, got it. Next one, okay, got it. Okay, yeah, I already do those. I don't even stop and listen to them. Like, walk through what you need to be mindful of when you're doing it. So you're making sure you're activating the right muscles, and then the sets and the reps. It's like, okay, you lift your leg and then you're holding it there for 10 seconds, and then you're dropping it slow and controlled. 10 seconds up, or like holding it for 10 seconds times 10. So the slow and controlled movements where you're just holding, I feel like are the lie detector tests for your fitness. You're like, yeah, I got a core. Yeah, I got strong legs. Glute meat's strong. And then you're just like shaking. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah. Turns out this is not the case. I am not fit, at least as fit as I thought I was. Anyway, I hope that answered your question. Long story short, too late. So I would do some easy running. Dimitri's in here. It says, greetings from Novi Sad, Serbia. Catching my first live. Welcome in, man. I'm glad you made it. Love that I found out about your channel by Joanna. Good note. Your run style relates pretty well to me, so I can listen to your word. All right, man. Welcome in. Found me through the man, Joanna, the Don. His reach is large. They're just that's awesome. Well, welcome in. Drummer Mike says, there's a few parks around town that have some pretty good hills. Nothing like Austin, though. I'm sure I'm in for a surprise. Oh, man. Yeah. I don't know if the course has changed in the last 5 years, but I know starting downtown, it was like a slow, easy 5K up, and then you turn and you're like 5K all the way back down. And I get too encouraged on the downhill. I'm like, I'll just pick up my legs a little bit here. So I remember my goal for that race was a 1:30, and I don't even know what shape I was in. It was my first half marathon ever. Probably too ambitious. That would track. And it was like a 7:03 up the first 5K. And then by the time I finished the 10K mark, it was 6:52. So it was like right on track for a 1:30. So I would be careful coming back down on that second 5K because my quads were definitely feeling it, and you hit some rollers. And that's just the half. Oh, I can't imagine. Shout out to anyone who does the full there. So Dabbler JD says the elite twos are the best. I am scared that they will mess up the threes. Yasakani is one of those companies that barely works. They like Brooks, Hoka. No, Brooks works. Hoka, there's a few brands that like they barely work. Like all the ingredients of the shoes come together. Like the Rocket X2, for me, it barely worked. It worked really well, but I could see where it would go wrong with the Rocket X3. Same thing. Like Mach X2, kind of heavy. I really liked it, but I could see like the Mach X1 was not good. So like the 3, I could see. I know it's just an upper update, but I could see that like that shoe wouldn't work. Some of those brands, they barely kind of work, and Saucony, the the Endorphin Pro's always been a good short distance race shoe for me. The 3 everyone loved and thought it was like really soft. I didn't find that to be the case, but I did like it did lock me into it. I know like Martha loved that shoe, but the Pro 4 was aggressive, but I think that Saucony, after running in the Endorphin Elite V2, needs to put Incredi-Run into every single shoe that they make and just become that like that they found a winner. They need to start that sucker. Put him in every game. Give him the rock every time down the court. The Incredi-Run has to touch the ball. That's it. You're gonna win. Saucony is gonna win if they let Incredi-Run take over. Like I'm convinced of it. So I talked to them at the running event. I talked to a lot of the PR people in marketing. "Oh, yeah, let me get your information." Then I send it to him, get left on red. They don't know I send it, but it's okay. I'm here for the shoes, and I don't hold you imagine my disclosures. Saucony did not send this to me. Saucony sucks. Do not like Saucony. But here's a review on the shoe. I'm just kidding. I don't care. Um, Frank says Topo was like on for me. I got one shoe from them and it was bad, and I'm never trying them again. That was when I first started running in 2020. That was exactly what happened to me with Hoka. I tried the Mach something. I tried whatever, the Bondi, whatever it was it that I really wanted to like them. And I think it Brooks too. I tried the Levitate and it like broke my ankles and it hurt when I ran in it. And I was like, this shoe has one job, it's to run and not injure me, and it's not fulfilling its promise. It sucks. So I just stayed away because I buy my own shoes. It's too expensive, and I stayed away. On sent me shoes. On sent me the On Cloud Surfer 2 and the On Cloud Monster Hyper. And I ran in the Hyper once before the marathon, but I was confused. I thought it was like On Cloud Monster was a recovery shoe, and I thought it was like On Cloud Monster Hyper would be a massive recovery shoe, extra cush. Then I started running in it and I was like, this feels like a super trainer. And I was like, oh, hyper fast. Oh, okay, that makes sense. So it's so firm in the heel, but all of the bounce comes from like the midfoot. And same thing with the On Cloud Surfer too. I maybe because everyone shit on it, I was like, oh, this is gonna be a very firm, not good shoe. And I don't mind a firm shoe, right? Like I am the target audience for the Flylight 6 from Topo. I run in the Nike Rival Fly 4. I don't mind a firm shoe. So I'm going to see if I get a little bit of bounce from the On Cloud Surfer 2 and how it holds up over time, like not just 4 or 5 miles, but on many runs. But those are the two shoes. I didn't get any On shoes that are going to be coming out, but On is so expensive that I tried the On Cloud Boom Strike only because it was on their on and off again, whatever their secondhand thing is when people return the shoes. So, um, I don't know what that thing is called, but I would basically have to wait for a deal. The On Cloud Eclipse I got for like $90, which I like that shoe, the little tank. It's great. But On is a company that for a lot of people they just don't work. I think they're a little bit more firm than they're advertised as or expected to be. Dimitri says, I currently mostly run in the Neo Vista 2, the Adios 9, the SL2, and the Cumulus 27. Feels dead after 100 miles. Adios Pro for long runs and races. Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. Adios 9 and the Adios Pro 4. Nice. Like that Light Strike 2.0. All right. Ernest. I'm not going to be able to read that. Captain Dan again. I ordered the Puma Fast Star 3. I'm excited, but I'm anxious if that's too aggressive for me. I used the Deviate Nitro 3 for Marine Corps Marathon and got a PR of 320, aiming for a sub 310 for Jersey City Marathon. That's awesome. Well, there are people that I know who run in the Fast Star, and they run slower times than that, and they also feel very fast in that. It's plenty protective, as Frank says down here as well. I ran in the Fast Start to the Marine Corps Marathon, and that was not enough protection underfoot. At mile 15, I took the shoe off. I felt like I had a little pebble under my foot. I was overtrained for that for sure. But yeah, the Deviate Nitro Elite version 3 and the Fast Star 3 are two of my favorite race day shoes. Best of luck in Jersey City. Jersey Shitty. Yeah. Sub 310, let's go. Luis is in here. Said, hola, sorry for being late. What's up, Luis? Better late than never. Glad you made it. Shannon Sides now has numbers next to her name. 6017 says, hi, midlife Cofamzy. What's up, Shannon? Hope your training's going well. Guys, I decided to run the Indianapolis Monumental Marathon. I think that's what it's called, the Indy Marathon. I think me and the entire squad, I think the whole Stride and Shine squad at this point has signed up for that race. It was between that and CIM, but I thought logistically it would be easier, more low key in Indianapolis. So we're just gonna be ripping speed up until that block. All right. Shannon Side says Increditrun or nothing. Going barefoot. Barefoot Mafia in the house. Shannon Sides, I have 984 miles on the oh my god, on the Primex Strong, and I'm having such a hard time bringing myself to get the last 16 in it. The last 140 miles have been tough. I have to be honest with you guys. It's not been easy. It's okay. It's okay. But it has been dead for a long time. I am disrespecting the dead every time I run in that shoe, but we must get it to 1,000. Shannon says, "Do they not know who you are?" No, Shannon. No. The algorithm is a funny thing. Some people know who I am, other people they do not. And then like when people say like professional runners, they don't know who Thomas from Believer in the Run is. Like just people not on it. Like you have to go so far down the YouTube algorithm to find me, right? So like the way the algorithm works, like if you like 5 different things, you do book reviews, you like books, and then your kids into chess, you play chess like I do with my kids. I get chess, Magnus, Hikaru, stuff like that. Then running's there too, right? Fitness. So I do some strength training. And of course, I get like coaching and track and field and a bunch of stuff, but you get like the top channels of every genre of thing that you watch. And if you're a real sicko and you're just like obsessed with one thing, in this case, running, then it starts you with Kafuzi, Believe in the Run, and all like the top channels. And then the more you watch, then it like kind of finds it like goes down to like smaller channels. When I mean smaller, like Floberg, 40,000, whatever. So like you have to be at the bottom. You have to hit your running bottom to be all the way down here to find me. But I have a media kit. I can send them and be like, "Hey, I review shoes. What's up? You want to send them to me?" They're like, Stevie76 in here with the comment of the live stream. Incredible wife. Love it. Incredible wife for nothing. Frank says the Mach 2 was so bad. Oh, yeah. Not the Mach X2, the Mach 2. I wanted to like them so bad. I think On was another one that I just really wanted to like. I just wanted to like all of these running brands and be a runner. They just were not it. Frank said, "I guess I would wear Topo again if they randomly sent me a shoe for no reason." Sponsored athlete, Frank. Yeah, the amount of times I have passed on the Topo Cyclone on the Running Warehouse clearance site is ridiculous. I don't usually run in tempo shoes in general. Like I don't last year I only ran in the Zoom Fly 6 and the Mizuno sent me the Wave Flash. But it's not I didn't buy the Endorphin Speed. It's not a shoe that I typically buy. So I'm like, I don't need this. I don't need any of these shoes that I buy. So, but I buy a lot of them. But anyway, the Topo was kind enough to send me those shoes. So, I'm gonna run in them and see what it's all about. Doppler JD says, Indy is my home marathon. All right. Doppler JD, we're gonna see you out there for a shakeout run. We're gonna run it back. I can't wait. I'm excited. I'm excited for Indy, and it's usually very cold. So Shannon says, I can't believe you still running the Primex Strong 1. I definitely quit at 850. When she's done, she's done. Yeah, 850 was it. For the heel, maybe 750 as I transitioned through the years. The shoe is so old. I think Reagan was president when that shoe came out when I got it, but got 850 is a lot. That's going to be the last 1,000-mile shoe for sure. Frank says the New York City lottery entry opens next week. Frank, I have thought about this. Okay. The good for age time for my 45 to 49 is maybe 305, but somebody, my sources on the inside on Reddit, they say you need at least like a 13-minute buffer. You need to be like way ahead. I would have to run a 252, which for Houston I did, but that's not a qualifying race because Houston was in 2026. So to apply for this year's New York City Marathon, I'd have to submit my 256, which is only 9-minute buffer. It's not going to be enough. So I just signed up for Indy and I said, you know what? I'm going to do New York. If we're all still alive and around, I'm going to do New York. That was morbid. I'm going to do New York the following year, and I'm going to submit my 250 time. Dimitri says Sagasu just dropped his thoughts on the Supernova Rise 3. I saw that. I thought it was pretty nifty with his changes because the song went into my head. So what's your comment on them in the rotation? Rise 3, Adios 9, Adios Pro 4, running feel wise. Yeah, Supernova Rise 3 is like a comfort cruiser. That's just like I actually gave my pair to the Captain Chaz, and he sent me the Miro out of the kindness of his heart, just cuz. And then I just sent it back to him, the Supernova Rise 3. It's it's not bouncy. I like bounce in my shoes. Like a lot of these shoes, I want to feel back. Even like the Glide Ride Max 1 has that little bounce because of the FF Blast Max on the top layer. And it's not a fast shoe, but it still gives me the fast versus like a Nimbus, just like a cruiser, like Triumph, some of those boat shoes that are just bigger and they're comfortable. You could just run and I get it. Like the type of runner that has historically that I've seen run in the Nimbus doesn't have 40 shoes. They have like 3 shoes and they run just for their health mostly. And they run pretty easy, maybe in the gray, but they're bigger runners and it's a comfortable shoe and they run forever. Supernova Rise 3 is for littler runners, maybe not so big. I think bigger runners would be just fine in it, but it's more comfortable. It's a comfortable shoe. So it's not a shoe that if I'm gonna run comfortable and I'm gonna run slow, I'm gonna go max stack like this Vomero Premium or the Neo Vista V2. Doppler JD says, every time I run in the Prime X Strung one, I think it's going to be the last ride, but it never is. LOL. I guarantee you, after 1,000 miles, it will be the last ride. And I might frame it. I don't think I can give those things away. Frank says, I get Gotham all over my feed, even though I try not to watch chess content. Yeah. I ignored his content for so long. He doesn't pop up in mine anymore. But he does like the super AI, blue eyes kind of thumbnails, and I am not one to talk. I just make the craziest, dumbest thumbnails on purpose. They're campy. I have fun with it. I made one. It's the cover of Never Been Kissed with Drew Barrymore, and I pulled my knee up and I mimicked the picture, and then I had AI make it into a movie poster, and I titled it Never Been Fast, and I put it on one of my videos. It's not out yet. It comes out like in a week or so. But you can see the thumbnail if you get on my channel. It's like members first. The members can watch it first. And she saw it. She screenshotted it. She sent it to me. She's like, I'm divorcing you. The secondhand cringe is a lot. I'm a lot, but so I can't say anything about thumbnails because I'm ridiculous with them. But I also get it. Like chess, you never arrive. Chess is a daily thing. You can't be like, this is how you play chess, and here are my chess videos. You essentially people watch you play your games and then you talk it through. So you're always posting. So they you can make titles like no, you can make titles that are clickbaity. Um, you'll never believe it. Oh my god. And then people just click on, "Oh, I wonder what happens in this video." It's the guy playing chess, believe it or not. He's just playing 3 games of chess, and you're watching him. Anyway, um, Shannon says, "My real life friends, what are those? They know of you because of their math algo several years ago." Yeah, I'm well known in the like, I don't know. When I was making math content, there was a guy, something PT, he would, like, made some math videos, but I look back sometimes and all those videos have just thousands and thousands of views, so I imagine if anyone's getting into math, the algorithm is gonna be like, "This guy right here." So, Shannon's telling on Luis, he said, "Luis liked the Mach 3." Mach X3 or the Mach 3? Duke BB, is Martha here? I don't see Martha. Usually she has something to say about Brooks, or Brooks Flex. What a flex. Shannon says, I applied for Puma's Project 3 thing for Boston, hoping to get a free kit and fast R3s. If you PR by 3 minutes, you win $3,000. Man, I applied. I applied for that first. I didn't get it. Little and maybe they knew that they were gonna release it before Boston came out, and then I would go up to Boston, I would walk into a Puma store, and I would buy them at full price, and I would PR by over 3 minutes, and they could save $3,000. It's gonna be challenging to PR by 3 minutes for me. We'll see. I'm gonna rip. I'm gonna get that mile time, guys. That's it. This channel is gonna change. It's not I'm gonna run Indy, and I don't know when I'm gonna run the next marathon. I'm just really intent on improving my max velocity. It's gonna be like that's why I put on the thumbnail, the first one that is no longer up. Track athlete. It's gonna be me doing flies. Just I'm gonna work with Ryan Miller for a while and then have Steve Magnus have me run a 501 mile. Never breaking 5. I'm signed up for a mile, March 30th. I'm gonna see if I can break 5. I ran a minute at mile pace. I don't think it's gonna happen right now. Oh my god. Doppler JD says, "This is my first Boston." Doppler, you are going to love it, man. I don't recommend going for PR there. He said, as he went for PR there and did it. I was just heavily influenced by Floberg. I blame Floberg. He was like, "Yeah, we'll go 235 Boston," you know? And then I was like, "Yeah, I got hills around here. I could train on the hills." It's a fun course. It's very challenging, but if you train appropriately for it, it is a great time. So, definitely one of my favorite races. I don't know if I like that one better or Chicago. They're both right there, neck and neck. Frank says, "I don't think my buffer is enough for NYC either, but I do think the Houston actually would count for the New York City entry." I they just said from January 21, 2025 to December 31, 2025. So I don't know how much of a stickler they are for it, but I was telling Jen Piazza maybe I'll just apply anyway, but I don't know. I think I'm okay trying out Indy and doing New York the following year too, because that'll be my only PR race or like a race. I know when I run New York, I want to be able to take it in, and I probably won't run it as the A race. Luis says Mach 3 was a good shoe, but that shoe didn't like going slow. Yeah. All right. That's a fast shoe. Yeah, that was maybe the only beef with that Vomero Premium is that it really has no chill. It's just like so bouncy. Whereas like the Neo Vista V2, it does have a lot of energy return if you put power down into it. And if the smooth speed assist, if you land midfoot, it'll roll you through. You could pick it up. But if you land heel, you'll sink into it. And it's really enjoyable for recovery. So Uh, nice. Shannon says, I used to have 5 pairs of the Primex Strung ones. Now I use the Endorphin Elite 2s for recovery and see myself running them in the ground in the same way. I will say this. This worn pair of shoes, I don't know that one. Bro said it had 28 miles. I don't know how many miles it actually has, but it still felt good in the 10-mile run that I went in it. And I was like, oh, Yeah, I could actually still run it, and I ran in the new one, which is a little bit bouncier, but it wasn't that noticeable. So that Incredible Run foam holds up. So Frank says the most violent game of chess in history. Yeah, exclamation points. Brilliant moves everywhere. Yeah, they make all sorts of different titles that you've never seen anything like this. Okay. Shannon says, I think if you understand the course at Boston and focus on form on hills, you could really run a fast race. I have not. I ran that one by effort just because you don't even know. You look at your watch and it's say you have a target of 7:30s. Then you look down at your watch and you see 7:10 because you're going mostly downhill. And then you look and it's like 7:42 because yeah, they were downhills, they were uphills, but it's net uphill for that mile. And so like you just don't know unless you memorize and study everything. So it's just kind of like, hey, I'm gonna run pretty hard, but I'm gonna just save a little bit for when I get to the hills. And then, you know, don't run aggressively up the hills, but just let the hills take you down. And I didn't know what to expect when I got to the hills. They were not as intimidating as I thought they were going to be, but I live in the hill country and I run hills. So I made it a point. Yeah, but I definitely, what they say is not to barrel down all the hills at the beginning. And I definitely would agree with that. Dimitri says the only issue with the New Vista 2 is the narrow midfoot and it's easy to over tighten. It gave me so much pain until I learned how to lace it. Yeah, I have that same issue. The Hyperion Max 3. This is the other Max Cushion Daily Trainer. I know it's a super trainer, but like this one in the Brooks Glycerin Max 2. And I like the super trainers, the Max Cushion Daily Trainers. I already got the Vomero Plus to over 100, so I'm not running in that one currently, but I would probably prefer that one over these two. But to your point, the same thing happens. They have this gusseted tongue that's stretchy on the Hyperion Max 3. And so they have the two walls over here that when you tighten, they come together. And that seems like it would work perfect. But my arches are so high that they stick up above it. And so when the laces tighten down, I still feel like the lace bite. So I was really excited about that. And then in the real world, in real life, FR, sorry, that gave me lace bite. Not a fan, but I really do like the ride in the shoe. And the thing about the Max Cushion Daily Trainers is that they can go on forever. You can just get like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of miles on it. Like that Glycerin Max 1 is at 365 miles. It still feels good. And the Glycerin Max 2 is even more firm. So who knows how long that one go? It probably could go to 1,000. Shannon says, so sad how the Adidas with the uppers are what forced the shoe to retire and not the midsole. Yeah. The uppers holding up on the strung for me. I hate that they make $500 shoes. I think that's probably has nothing to do with the Light Strike 2.0 being too soft. Not a not a fan. I don't think I would like the Ray. The Cielo X1, I like the geometry of it. It is too soft for like marathon day. I do like training in it. That one's pretty close to 100 miles also. But with Adidas coming out with this new can't get this shoe, it's $500. I hope one day we get past all of that. Probably will never. Supply and demand, shoe companies coming out with the shoe. Like the Fast R3, I think there's plenty of supply and then they just like make new ones and then they sell out and then they make new batch and they sell out just because it's such a good shoe. I don't think they're purposely trying to sandbag. So we'll see. I'm on a no buy till March. We'll see if that holds up. Let's see. The downhills are so much worse than the uphills. One thing that surprised me about Boston is that it is nonstop rollers all the way through. I thought like, okay, steep downhill to start, then, when we go up the hill or, and then there's the Newton Hills at the end, but maybe it kind of like levels out in the middle. No. And not only that, there are some miles, I don't know if it's like 10 or 11 that are still like net uphill. So I was expecting to see certain numbers and I wasn't seeing those numbers and I was starting to freak out and I would just I wasn't prepared. So I know that there was like a big downhill into the Newton Hills and I said, I'm going to surf that wave and run it down. What's this? 700 USD shoes are on the horizon. It's from daily grind running. I hope not, man. This Adidas 60 millimeter foam ultra shoe, they charge $700 for that. I cannot. It's too much. It's too much. And it's one thing if it's because I bet it's also going to be like super limited release and they're not going to have a lot of them. But no, it doesn't make it any better. Paul Ludwig says, I'm looking forward to the release of the Saucony Endorphin Azura. They may battle it out with the Asics Nova Blast for my daily trainer. I am interested in that shoe. I like that it's 150. I believe Kafuzi said it's midfoot friendly in that regard or something, and that excites me. So I know it's a little heavier. My expectations aren't much because it's Saucony. And for me, it's like they got to prove it still. Whereas like Puma comes out with the shoe, it's probably good. Mizuno comes out with the shoe, I'm probably going to like it. But with some of these brands, it's like I need 2 or 3 verification sources. I'm going to send 1 cent and 7 cents to your bank account. Then you confirm and you tell me how much is in it. You tell me it's good. And then I'm like, okay. That's why I never got the red UFO. Somebody like everybody was like, you have to run in the shoe. This is Frank from Supwell trying this running YouTube thing out. I love it, man. I love it. Daily grind. I've thought about that from when we do shakeout runs. And it's like someone has to give me the handle, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, no, I know. That's awesome. All right. Oh, let's continuation. Dimitri says, is Adidas cooking something cool for 2026? Saw anything at TRE? The Adios Pro 5 leaks seem really cool for stability with the new plate design. No, Dimitri, like the running event, the big brands are super closeted or whatever. I mean, they're closed off. Like Asics had the Nimbus 28 out, and that's it. It's like they're like, yeah, this is all we're coming out with this year. Right. I think they just like Brooks had everything out that I think that they were gonna, and like Saucony also came out with everything. And I think it's because they're trying to make a splash. They want people to talk about Saucony. They want people to talk about it. Like Asics is like, whatever, you're gonna buy our shoes. Like Adidas, Nike, these brands are so big. So if I'm trying to reach out to PR and marketing people and find the person to talk to, and it's like, well, we have someone in the region, but they're not here right now, or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, so they didn't put a bunch of stuff out that to the general public that you're going to know what's coming. So Mizuno has a big shoe coming that's on the comfort side of things that's pretty awesome that I'm excited about. And then their next, I know it's wild. I don't know what I could talk about or what I can't talk about, so I have to keep quiet on that. But no, from the running event, I didn't see anything that from Adidas that really stood out. I mean, I know they have their ultra shoe that's just coming out, but I also did not like the Light Strike 2.0. So if they continue down that path, Uh, it's gonna be tough. I also think Asics is a little overrated. I said it. I said that shit. I did. I know Asics is everybody's favorite, but they have the FF Blast. That just the FS, yeah, plus FF Blast plus. I don't know. It's plastically. They're all right. You know, they have some good shoes, but some of their shoes are just like, no, it's pretty good. It's really good. It's like the best thing ever. So Captain Chaz is in here. He says, "What's up, Short King? Remote day at school, so I got to catch Midnight Runner live stream. Awesome, man. Yeah, my first grader's working remote. He's working on Sonic over there. He was here. So Shannon says we won't tell. Yeah, thanks. It's hard to break through the firewall anyway. It's not like anyone from ASICS. I think I did talk to someone ASICS one year over the summer, and they're like, no. Like I was like, yeah, look. I was like, nah, we're okay. We got enough. We already go to the top. We don't need you. So, but that doesn't determine whether or not I like a shoe or don't like the shoe. I think I really did like the Metaspeed Edge Paris, and maybe I'm suffering a little bit from the sequel effect where like the Endorphin Speed 1 comes out, everybody's like shoe of the year. Endorphin Speed 2 comes out, it's essentially the same shoe and it doesn't make anybody's top list. It's like, yeah, that was so last year. So, I the FF Blast Max part of ASICS I really enjoy. So, you know, I liked the V5 of the Nova Blast more than the 3 and the 4. So I thought it was returning to something really bouncy, but obviously V1 was still my favorite and I still have a pair of that. So Daily Grind Running says my kids do remote Fortnite school sometimes. Got to. We got to. We turn off all the electronics at 7 and we do chores. We used to be like right when they get home and they just kind of half-ass it because they had a long day at school. And now we just say, you know what? Party. Go play, eat. And then at 7 o'clock we shut it down and then they're like interrupts their screen time. So then they get after it, we get after it. Oh, we're going over. I just noticed the time. So we'll wrap it up pretty soon. Shannon says, I like Asics running gear more than shoes. I'm a cheapie. I just get the cheapest stuff on the gear. I don't think I'm ever going to review much on the gear front on the channel because I know I'm only running in it because somebody sent it to me and I wouldn't actually pay with it with my own money because I just get socks and I just get whatever's on Amazon. I know supporting Amazon, Big Brother, whatever it is. uh, let's see. Oh, I'm glad. I feel seen. There's more people in here. I agree. A6 is mid. Super Blast 2 was overrated. Mega Blast pretty nice. Everything else is meh. Nova Blast 5 is too mushy. Nova Blast 2 is the king of that lineup. All right, I'm glad. I thought it was just me there for a while. I was like, yeah, like, listen, don't get me wrong. It's like A6 is really good. This the same thing happens when I was like, I one of Alpha Fly 3 is overrated. I said, look, it's a really good shoe. It's like Leonardo DiCaprio. Okay, he's really good. He should not get like okay, but he works with A-list directors, $100 million budgets, and he hides behind an accent for like half his career. And he has. That's I know. I'm just saying it. Okay, it's the truth. Not saying he's not good. He's really good. Okay, it's just every movie they're like, give this guy an Oscar. And I heard this most recent one. He's been better in the last 5 to 7 years for sure. I'm just saying. Leonardo DiCaprio is A6. Okay, he's really good. We don't need to give him the awards every single time they come out with the shoe. Like, it's the best shoe ever. Dimitri's in here. Temu gear for the win. I did see a meme. I sent it to my oldest, who liked to buy a lot of stuff from Temu, and it was like this Temu factory caught on fire in flames. This big compound of however many thousands of square acreage. The total cost of the damage was $57.12. I thought that was pretty funny, so I sent it to her. See, this is what I mean, Frank. One Battle After Another was a great movie, though. That's the one, and I heard that, like, the movie itself is alright, but, like, his performance is what makes it, and you need to watch it for his performance. So I will, and I will say he has gotten better ever since Inception on, and the back half of his career is much better than the first half, where they were still trying to get him nominations for everything. Aviator, Gangs of New York, Blood Diamond, that era, if you will. Yeah. All right, we're getting into all-time great lists here. Nova Blast 2, seriously one of my all-time faves. Endorphin Speed 1, Alpha Fly 1, Vaporfly 1, Nova Blast 2, Rotation. What a rotation. What a time to be running. Yeah, shoes are it's great. All right, I'm gonna have to stop at some point, but Chaz says people used to say the same thing about Meryl Streep. Meryl Streep deserves have an Oscar for every role that she does. She's that good. Like, I just like Adaptation, that movie also just her performance in it, like everything she does. I agree with Meryl Streep. She's like Coach Popovich. She could get Coach of the Year every year. They just quit. They were like, yeah, we could, but he's already gotten it a couple times. Let's give it to somebody else. So, next time, next live stream, we'll have to get into some movie talk. Some more movie talk. Frank says, "This sounds like you just don't like Scorsese. Scorsese sucks." Well, Scorsese loved DiCaprio. He put DiCaprio in all the stuff, but Catch Me If You Can. I mean, you name all these movies. Okay, Blood Diamond. That was not Zemeckis, but that was another pretty big director. I just it's the accents. It's kind of like okay. Anyway, we'll talk more movies next time, and we'll get into all-time rotations or something. So. We'll see you next Wednesday. Enjoy your runs. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, weekend. Stay warm. Hopefully, we get to some warmer temps here soon. Endless winter.